What is up, Black Squad? We finally have the return of Dragon Ball Horror. I know you guys have been waiting a couple months. It's been a couple months since my last video on this series, and there's finally enough episodes that I feel like it's time to drop another one because we have 6 brand new episodes of this double ganger series that we got for Dragon Ball Horror. And let's go ahead and jump in and see exactly what happens between Piccolo and Gohan. Alright, that was actually a little bit intense, guys. So Piccolo, his doppelganger has essentially had a change of heart, and that is why he has faced off against Gohan. That's just a small recap, but it looks like Gohan now is having kind of a very similar, this doppelganger is remembering Gohan's life. They are connected to each other at the hip. They're connected with their body and their minds and their memories, and so this doppelganger is having that second thought that, yeah, maybe you're right, Piccolo, or doppelganger Piccolo. Maybe we don't belong here. Maybe we never did. Because remember, this guy was full on ready to assimilate and take over Gohan's life 110% for their own evil deeds. And honestly, I still can't get past the fact that Gohan, this doppelganger, looks like a spider, because that's freaking me out. Can't stand spiders, but yeah, it looks like it might be the end for this doppelganger.
おっガーバカな
大丈夫ですか？すごいパワーだ。すみません。
ご飯すまん。
Okay, that was funny. So the end of this Gohan doppelganger has finally come. It's been an entire. This one's probably lasted the longest, I think, this doppelganger that we've seen anyway. I mean, I feel like the only other one that has lasted this long is the Goku doppelgangers because we've seen several scenes of him fighting for his life at this point. But this one doppelganger facing off against Gohan first, and now this doppelganger Piccolo, he has lasted the longest. So it's finally his time to go, and I feel like he had a good send off by having the doppelganger Piccolo be the one to destroy him completely, utterly destroy him. But Gohan coming back, literally, this is the second time that Piccolo has told him to leave because he is not safe around this doppelganger Piccolo. I mean, the fact that he's not listening to him doesn't really fit Gohan. I feel like Gohan would be far more wary. This is more Goku behavior, in my opinion. But Gohan coming in and Piccolo choking his ass out and then dropping it. Classic. And then Gohan wanting to know what's going on. I'm wondering how much Piccolo is actually going to divulge.
You see another person that looks identical to you. Run away and hide. You see another person that looks identical to you. Run away and hide. You see another person that looks identical to you. Run away and
You see another person that looks identical to you. Run away and hide.
NANI? バカな!
All right, that is insane. The exact same abilities that had made Piccolo resist essentially this doppelganger influence, this exact same ability has now become a double-edged sword as Piccolo has to face off against Nail as well. He completely defeated Kami already and was able to control his own body, but now he's got to face off against Nail, and Nail looks like he's going to be some sort of huge, disgusting praying mantis sort of monster. I don't really know what that was at the very end, but I like the fact that now that fight with Gohan is over, we are assuming now that Piccolo has told Gohan everything about the situation and what's going on, and so Gohan left Piccolo. Piccolo seems to be kind of himself, but still under the control of doppelgangers to an extent, and I love that it is the exact same radio frequency, the one that we've been hearing since the very beginning of this series, the one where it says, if you see your doppelganger, run away and hide, which now this trend is kind of ancient history if you really think about it. Like, this trend came out sometime early last year and nobody is doing it anymore, but Kingo Kumato, he made an entire story, entire series based on this concept, and it works phenomenally. It works very well, and I think that this is by far one of my favorites. My favorite, it's not really animated, kind of animated Dragon Ball fan animations that are out there, especially with all those horror concepts. But I really want to see what Nail looks like, because he just looked like a giant. I mean, honestly, now I'm thinking about it, he kind of looks like an anglerfish a little bit, like a huge anglerfish. Let's go ahead and check it out and see what he looks like.
なんだ
You
I love the way that Kenzo Kumato has been throwing in the fact that Piccolo has that golden transformation. I mean, we've seen more use of this transformation in this animation than I've seen in any other fan animation since that movie came out. So kudos to Kenzo Kumato. But now we see how horrid and disgusting Nail looks, and Nail looks like a snail. So I was kind of close. I mean, anglerfish and snail, basically cousins to each other, but he looks absolutely grotesque, and Piccolo wipes him out in one blow, but is shocked that he did so. He didn't realize that that was going to be the case. I'm assuming he can sense how strong Nail is, and he's completely gone, and that is when he finally comes up to the realization that, yeah, he hasn't actually killed any of the doppelgangers that are within him, and he isn't kind of like part doppelganger. All those doppelgangers are inside of him, driving him crazy. And that's where he finally comes to that realization at the very end, where he actually thought he had control over this. He doesn't have control over anything. And now there are other doppelgangers that are trying to come out from the fused beings that are within his body, which again, he thought he just defeated Kami before. He thinks he defeated Nail, but no, they're still there. So a little confused on whether this happened prior or this happened that same night, and now he's telling them the situation, or this happened before he faced off against the doppelganger Gohan. But I love that we got Dead Zone mentioned. Dead Zone, for those of you guys who have not seen the original Dragon Ball Z US broadcast, where we did get the entire Dead Zone arc, I don't think it is in Dragon Ball Z Kai. Garly Jr. is like Kami's greatest enemy or something. Looks a little bit like a Namekian, not really though. And his whole thing was that he wanted to open up the Dead Zone, which is another dimension that will grant him immense power, which it kind of does in the movie or in the arc. It's like a mini arc between the Frieza saga and the Android saga. And then he gets ultimately cast off into the Dead Zone, which we did see a little bit of Garly Jr. earlier as a doppelganger. So I don't know if he's going to be in it like not a doppelganger, if he's going to come out of the Dead Zone, but these doppelgangers are called Deadites, and they are essentially the beings that live and reside in the Dead Zone, and their mission is to replace all the original characters of Dragon Ball. And with that, they've succeeded with a few, but Piccolo's saying that right now Goku is in the most danger because of this. He's being targeted by 6 other key signatures that are very similar to him. If you guys remember, Goku is actually being attacked by every single doppelganger. He's got the most amount of edits. This is true in every Dragon Ball game, every Dragon Ball video game. There are a lot of Gokus. So yeah, there are really only 5 of these. I thought there were 6, so I miscounted, but yeah, they take a while to come out, and that's why it's been 2 months. So it might be another 2 months before we get another video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content.
し